Today we're going to look on how we can use corporate within our Excel to analyze data automatically. And we're going to move step by step on building a complete pivot table analysis to dashboard using corporate within our Excel file. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we are. I have my complex data as you can see on my screen, whereby I have my transaction ID, transaction date, time, quantity, the store ID, the store location, product ID, unit price, product category, product type, product details, sales, days of the week. And we have to analyze this. I have like over 17 columns up to 148,117 over rows. So we have to analyze this within our Excel. And I have some questions here asked for me from my manager. He asked me to find how Marvin Roster's sales trended over time, and I have to look to which days of the week tend to be the busiest, and why do you thinks think that's the case. And lastly, we shall find which products are sold most and least often, and which drive the most revenue for our business. So within here, we're going to use what we call the Copilot. So here I have my Excel 2019, which does not have a Copilot, but don't worry. If your Excel doesn't have Copilot, no worries. So what you're going to do, you're going to come on your Play Store, you download what we call Microsoft 365 Copilot. After downloading it, you click open. It will definitely take you up to here. Then you search whichever file you want to open. Then you click on that, you open it, and it will take you direct to the web, to the browser, to the web directly, so that you can use it when you inside there. I already inserted this. As you can see, it's already up here. So, and when you come on the far right corner here, there is what we call the Copilot. When you click on it, it will definitely come here, and you will start asking it some questions, right? So we want to analyze this data based on our questions. So we shall begin by copying some data within here because we want to analyze it. So I'll begin by selecting some rows because it's too much. It cannot be loaded all the way into the corporate. But let's copy some rows. Maybe like let's stop on 80. Stop on 80. Click copy. Then we open our corporate. Then we click here. We insert them. Then we send. So it will start thinking. As you can see, you give it time to think so that it rolls, and we start asking it our question. Okay, so it has started. It says it looks like you're viewing a Marvin Roasters coffee. That's true. Shop sales file. Okay, and here it gave us some highlights. Okay, so we shall start off by asking it some question which we have here, right? I'll just copy this, control copy, I paste it here, and I click OK. It will start thinking like that. Okay, give it some time. It's visualizing and it's writing. And it has written us the steps to visualize those trends. and it told us select your data range, include transaction date, sales, and store locations. So, mm, okay, and go to insert, choose a line chart or pivot chart. Then insert a pivot table list. In pivot table list, you drag the transaction date in rows, sales in value, and store location to legit series. So within here, after that, doing so, format the chart. Maybe sorry to use a different lower. So we shall go here. We shall come back to our original Excel. We create something called the pivot tables. Call this pivot tables. Okay. So over here, we shall come to our data and we highlight Control A. And over here, we come to insert a table, existing worksheet. Then we select our sheet we click that cell, then we click OK. As you can see, so it said here we drag the sales date into rows and the sales to values and drag store location to legend or series. So what we shall do here, shall come back here, we drag our dates, transaction date into rows and our sales or revenue into values, right? So within here you can put maybe product ID if you want so, and within this we shall leave it as it is, and it says you shall put what we call a line chart. As you can see, we pick a line chart, we click OK for visualization. So we have another question here. Okay, another question says click copy, we paste it here and we send it. Which days of the week tend to be busiest and why do you think that is the case? So it would give us the visualization. We give it some time. It wrote us the steps to identify busiest day area. Excel create a pivot table. Drag days of the week to rows and drag cells to values. And optionally, you can drag store location to columns to compare locations, as we're going to see. And after that, we shall summarize it with a what? With a, it did not give us the chart, so let's ask which chart should we give our pivot table. Shows as a bar chart showing total sales. Okay, we shall come back here. We drag days of the week into row sales by into value. So we shall come back here. We either copy this, Ctrl C, and we paste it over here. Okay, so we change this. We remove this. and we call this our days of the week to be there, so that we get our trade within the days of the week. So within here we shall put what we call a bar chart, or we can choose what we call a column chart. Let's select a column chart for this, for visualization, to put in our dashboard. So we shall leave it as it is, like that. Okay. So we have our next question, which is called, which products are sold most and least? So we copy this, paste it in our Copilot, then we click send. It will start rolling. As you can see, it gave us an answer. Pivot table setup. Click product details into rows, transaction quantity into value, and the sales into value also. And this one option maybe product category into a filter. So what we shall do, we shall come over here on our pivot table chart or sheet. I'll paste this here and I'll change this to, I'll remove this, and it says drag product details into rows, transaction quantity into value, and sales, that is revenue. So we shall drag our sales there, transaction quantity also here, and and what product details, maybe product ID. Maybe we drag, because they said which product. Yeah, product type. Or product details into there, so that we get something like this. And we should format this as a transaction of as a count of transactions made within here. So within here, and this will be basically for what we call, let's see what is said here. Product must be coffee, top revenue drives economy, why coffee, and like for visualization, a bar chart. Should be a bar chart here. So we shall click a bar chart, as you can see. Then we select that, then we click OK for visualization. It looks complicated here, but you can reduce the rows. As you can see, you can just come here come over here, you click this, you bring back this field list, and you remove the count off so that it's meaningful. And within here, you can put what we call product type, not product, as you can see, so that it looks easy to read or identify, as you can see. And you can come here and sort this to so that the visual is nice, as you can see. Now after here, you can go ahead and create what we call the cards for your charts, or for your the cards for your chart, and you can format what we call a dashboard. You can start off with this to build your dashboard with interactive slicers, something like that. So that's how basically we use the Copilot within our Excel to analyze data instantly. Hope you learned something new today. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.